is up, YouTube? So today we're here to talk about coronavirus.
Sorry.
Okay, no, it's not funny, but it's serious.
Yeah,
Coronavirus.
But you will be low.
Okay, coronavirus. So we're talking about coronavirus because you know the situation going on. It's not really easy. It's very tough, and everybody has to stay safe. You know what I'm saying? So today we'll talk about various issues within the coronavirus matter. And yeah, let's get it. Okay, so you know the conspiracy saying it's 5G.
Well, what I've heard about it, I don't really. First of all, I don't understand it.
The 5G stuff.
Yeah, but I think someone had like a timeline with like all the other diseases that happened when there was a 3G and a 4G and stuff, and one of them was Ebola. And to be honest with you, Ebola was not really.
I just remember one video, one prank. The guy was like, it's American. He was like, "Doctor, you killed me from Ebola."
Yeah. I want to thank Pastor Zadicus.
Hallelujah.
You all know last year I had Ebola.
Yeah.
And he healed me.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. No, basically it's not. It wasn't really. And there wasn't that many cases around the world generally. Do you know what I'm saying? It was mostly Africa. So it's like, and I'm sure, you know, Africans were kind of late with technology and stuff like that. So how come it only took... Basically, the theory doesn't really...
Yeah.
It's not strong for me to believe it, basically. I do think that... well, when I first heard of the coronavirus, I said to myself, you know, the Chinese, they are quite powerful. They, in terms of technology and everything, they're quite advanced compared to everyone else, right? And it's a threat. It's obviously a threat. And I've realized that genuinely in life, when you see that, oh, this type of race or people, oh, if there's like something happening in their country, sometimes it's, you know, Europe is often behind it. It's often behind it because it's like, you know, they're a threat, so we have to do something to slow them down, or, you know, without actually going to the country and cause terror and stuff like that. There's so many examples, like, you know, all these the countries that they go to and you know, cause all these civil wars and stuff. And
even the stuff that I was hearing on the podcast I listened to talk about 5G, they're saying that it's the creation of 5G that's causing the virus. So if I can remember clearly what
is
the
that
podcast,
what they're saying?
Yeah, saying that
I heard something about the towers, and that's what's...
They said that basically the 5G was created in Wuhan, so basically somewhere in China. So but the government and so whatever, they're using the Chinese eating the raw animals and the fish market as something to hide behind it. Yeah, they're saying that Russia, the reason why Russia doesn't have so much high cases of the virus because because the 5G that they use, they only use it for like the military. They don't use it. They haven't like put it out there for like like that. So with other countries, that's what, like, you hear so many things. You don't know like,
what to believe.
Yeah. One day you hear is this, the government trying to reduce the population.
But I actually believe is to reduce the population because, like I was telling Mike, I remember being on holiday with my mum and my siblings in France, and I remember, you know, usually things that are very informative, educative and stuff like that, they never really show it during daytime. You know, they really do the big propaganda, moral panic during the day with the news, oh, coronavirus and all that stuff. And at night, they kind of show the things that you really want to know.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a documentary and they were talking about how it was in France, obviously it was related to the French and stuff. And they were saying, oh, how that the health system is trying to not give healthcare to like old people, basically, because it's like it's waste of money. So they want to save money on that. And basically, like, if an old person is ill, then they kind of like let them die because they're old anyway, and then use that money for other people. And I remember there was a debate about it and stuff like that. And I know for a fact that when you do, you know, when you're uni, you do a lot of research and stuff, and you end up seeing that the population even in the UK is quite old. You know what I'm saying? It's quite old. And what French people is the same. So what they're trying to do, I think they're trying to get rid of the old people. That's what mostly when you see the coronavirus is usually old people that are dying. It's not like young people and stuff. It's like the young people is that, oh well, you know, it's part of the plan. Okay, some people are gonna die. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's mostly old people that are dying. It's like they're trying to kind of renew the whole generation and get, you know, because the young people are the ones that kind of make things go with it. And the ones that are working and stuff. Man. I really do believe that that's true.
I'm not even surprised because the way the government are and everything, like you don't know what to believe. All these policies, all this that. It's just sad that it's like it's in almost every country. Like, there's nowhere you can run to. You can't say, oh, let me run back to Africa.
Remember when Mum was saying, let's go Africa. It's there. It's
crazy,
it's a bit.
And I think, like, it's even kind of harder in other countries, especially with the healthcare system. The healthcare was
Africa's
like,
hard, isn't it?
even the lockdown, because I feel like with the lockdown, they'll probably have to use force somewhere like in Nigeria because people will not listen.
So
People still want to go outside. If they don't use force, and I feel like the police might even, there's already bribery already there, but with this
I
thing,
feel like if you're rich you'll get to go out basically, so they're not really gonna listen to it.
But like I feel like, imagine you go outside, like police will probably be scared to even come to you. They'll think you have the virus. But nobody wants to die. So, but it's just crazy though. Even we talk about the supermarkets as well, like the shops.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like. The supermarket stuff, it's silly because food is never gonna run out. You don't run out of food. Like the only thing that might be missing is, like, you know, in Tesco, most shops have the world section.
Like the world section.
All the things that are like imported and stuff. Yeah. But then again, I don't know how much inflation does England do. I think they do have a lot of English products, so I don't see.
I think because the only thing I've noticed, because the pasta, like if you go into inside Tesco, pasta and rice, the shelf is just empty, like everything. But in general, like you're saying, there's still food. Like people are acting as if it's the Armageddon, there's apocalypse or something. They acting though like
And what I don't like is that obviously some people. Like we're lucky when things were going. We're a bit guilty of that as well because let's be real, When we heard, remember I said when I first heard, I said okay, let's buy hand sanitizers. Remember I said that straight away, and I said we had our masks already, we had our hand sanitizers ready. I had all of the cleaning products. We had that from early before there was even. I'm sure when we had the hand sanitizers, there was probably no cases in the UK. There's probably no cases in the UK. So I thought, because I'm a bit of a...
there was still so many hand gels.
There was loads. So people were not taking it seriously then. But I don't like germs and I like to clean everything. I'm very like, when people sneeze, I'm like, ugh. I hate things like that. So obviously when I heard that, I already thought, I need to get stuff and stuff. But really and truly... the food stuff is silly because I feel sorry. Like, for example, we're lucky. We took money and we said, let's buy everything that we need, so we don't have to go shops again. But what about the people that say, for example, they're waiting for universal credit to get paid on that specific day, and then by the time they go there, it's finished? Or what about the people that work? The vulnerable people that have to wait for maybe they kid that lives all the way across.
Because like a vicious circle. Like imagine someone like goes into the store because they're fearing the lockdown. They feel like they won't be allowed to go outside, so they go in Tesco. They pack the whole pasta. Someone else comes now, there's no pasta there. So it's like, and that will make that person that came without and didn't see any food feel like, next time I see, I'm gonna take everything because of the fear. I don't know when else I'm gonna see. So I think it just continues like. But people are just acting like they said this is lockdown, but you can still go outside and buy the thing you need.
Of course, they will allow you to.
So why people acting like they were not allowed to go and buy food? like you go outside Tesco now, there's queue, like, and everything. It's just crazy. But
it's very selfish as well.
yeah, very
Because
selfish.
so many there's other
Mhm.
people. Like, do you know the worst thing that really, really, really annoyed me was when at work there was no hand, so we kind of ordered like hand
Mhm.
sanitizer and stuff, and it just took till now. It's still not
till
here.
COVID,
Yeah,
you
it
see?
took ages. And then I decided, my colleague told me, oh yeah, I went to M&S and I saw hand sanitizers. There's loads in M&S. I went there literally the next day.
Nothing.
Everything was gone. And then I asked one of the cashiers, I said, oh, don't you have some at the back or something? She said, someone came in and bought like 40 boxes. I'm like, why
Wow.
would you allow someone to pay
Yeah.
to take 40 boxes?
I
What about the other
swear.
people? Like, take one and you squeeze that tiny little drop and
You manage
you manage it.
Like,
You take all of the hand sanitizers and you protect yourself, and bear in mind that person is probably stacking it in their house and they're not even using it. In the meantime, people have nothing.
yo,
It's silly.
even this, you see this toilet paper issue, toilet roll.
That's the worst
That
thing.
one is
But
even-
for us, black people, we were like, what the hell?
Well,
Like, you wash your butt with
They're
water.
like,
If
yeah.
it goes worse to worse, when it comes to
funny.
worse, you wash your butt with water.
You see about that. You'll all be using newspaper like we did in the war.
It's like out of any other thing that you'd have thought people would be going crazy to buy. Imagine it's toilet roll, like everywhere
But
you go.
do you know what? I think it's a culture thing, because obviously if we go to Africa, toilet roll is probably going to be the last thing people are buying.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? It's a culture thing.
it's just mad though. Like you go there inside Tesco, the whole aisle is empty, no toilet roll.
Yeah, no
Like-
matter how
like,
expensive it is, if the
you
toilet
can't
was
even
like
find
£15,
that. It's gone.
they're paying £15 for.
Even the pocket tissue as well. You can't even find no pocket tissue. People not even staying home.
That is
People
annoying.
not staying home.
It's annoying. Because, I'm not gonna lie, both of us are key workers, yeah? So we don't, when we are off, we stay at home. And trust me, I love it. I like to sleep. I like to chill. I like to, it's rare that you get time off. Even when on a normal day, like on a normal week at work, you're really busy. Right now it's calm because obviously there's nothing happening, but you're really busy. By the time you get home, you're tired. And then even on your day off, you just want to rest. You don't want to do anything. But really and truly, because we work so much, we end up doing a lot on our days off because that's the only time that we have off.
Yeah.
So people that can, I wish I could stay at home. If we could stay at home, I'll be the happiest
I'll be
person
home,
ever.
I
I'll be
swear.
home. I'll probably clean everything,
Yeah.
wash all my wigs, do everything.
Catch up,
I will have
make
so
some
much to
YouTube
do.
videos. You know
Yeah,
what
I will
I'm
have
saying?
so much to do. And people are like, oh, I have to go out.
act like-
I have to go out. I have to do this. I'm like, for what? Because to be
Yeah.
honest, let's be real. It's either you stay at home, for those the lucky ones that still live with their parents. You stay at home. You chill with your family, you find games to do, you have time to bond and learn more about your family, your siblings, your dad, your mom, everything, and FaceTime the ones you love and stuff like that. Or you go out, you catch the virus, and you have to stay in hospital with people that you don't know. You stay in hospital with people you don't know, fighting for your life, suffering, because the way that doctors are talking about it is not a thing where you just get a little flu and that's it. It depends on your body. So obviously you be coughing your chest out, like you be vomiting, you be you can't breathe. That's probably the worst feeling. I've always heard that dying, yeah, without, like, when you're struggling for air,
Yeah.
that's the worst death, the most painful death. That's what people say in it. That's why I've read it somewhere. It's the most painful
It's
death.
too
So
much,
imagine gasping for air
That's
and
too
everything in the
much.
hospital, and
I'd rather just get shot.
like,
Go shoot me,
thank
I'll
you,
die
thank you.
one
Like,
time.
so you're
Bossa.
gonna end up, you're gonna leave your house, or because you didn't want to go, because you wanted to leave, you leave your house. You're gonna end up in hospital, where you're gonna be forced to stay in a hospital,
Exactly.
or you're gonna die and be in a box where you'll be forced to stay in that box, because it's like, regardless, you have to stay somewhere.
Exactly.
But it's a choice.
It's like-
To be honest, it's like you have to pick between life and death. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't understand how like people want to go outside and put themselves in risk. Like, you just only go outside if you need to. If you need to get
And
food,
even
you
that,
need
I'm
to go
scared.
to work. I swear.
We pray and we put olive oil. If we see us every morning,
Praying or
holy oil every day.
We're not
Pray,
taking this like a
mask
joke.
on,
It's not a
gloves
joke.
on.
This is-
When you come home, all the clothes
Everything
off,
off,
shower,
wash
everything.
them.
Everything's very
Cause like she said, yeah. If we had the choice to just stay home, like I'm trying to even reduce the amount of time I need to go to work. Like if I
Yeah,
need
we
to
were
go,
trying to reduce our
reduce the
hours.
hours.
I've used a lot of holidays at the moment and
Yeah.
stuff, so it's like we're
'Cause-
really trying to reduce and
So I don't get how some people they get a chance to stay home, but you don't
do
want to stay home.
nothing. You can
You
do
don't want to stay home.
like
Then when you go back to work,
you're
or
gonna
still
be
you start complaining.
I didn't get a day off.
Ah.
It's so true. It's like I just don't understand the
Some people
logic.
don't appreciate what they have until it's gone, yeah.
I just don't.
Because
I
you
don't get
imagine
it.
you keep going outside, you get the virus, and then bring it inside your house, and then other people in your house.
The worst is
get
if you would live
infected.
with your parents, because I'm not gonna
Exactly.
lie, our generations, our parents are like 40s, 50s,
Older.
and I'm not gonna lie. If you look at the average of people dying in China, it's around that age.
Yeah,
so
those
it's like
people
it's not
dying,
funny.
yeah,
Around that age, parents start to have a
Yeah.
bit, if they
The
didn't eat
immune
well,
system,
yeah, the immune
everything.
system is not really good. If they didn't eat well during their youth, it kind of catches up to them. So it's like it's not they're more vulnerable than we are, and it's not it's not
like,
funny.
yeah.
And to be honest, since the youngest person to die in France is 16,
Wow,
and she had no underlying
16.
issues, she had no health issues, and the poor girl, she stayed home like all the time, and I think she just went out once, literally
Right.
to do shopping, and she died. So it's like,
wow. You have
to me, that
stay-
scares me, because if she's 16 and we're 25, mate,
Damn.
we're like 10 years older.
Oh my god, 16 is so young as well. Like that's
Very
like
young.
you just finished your GCSEs, getting to college, and then this just happens. It's just sad. Like it's like the whole 2020 is cancelled though.
It really
Maybe
is.
the first 6 months is cancelled.
It's cancelled.
It's sad. Like people have.
Everyone was like,
plans, birthdays.
2020!
Like, yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
New year, new me.
New year, new me.
Yes, we gotta take control.
No, but
though.
by God's grace,
By
it'll
God's
be
grace.
over soon.
So I'm trying to see. They say they're working on vaccine and stuff. Vaccine, like medication.
I feel like they already have one. I'm not
But-
gonna lie to you.
If you think they're just hiding it, like, they're
Because
keeping
let's
it-
be real, yeah. They're telling us stuff like, you keep hearing new things from especially doctors. Wash your hands with hot water.
Yeah.
This hand sanitizer stuff kind of stops. It stops.
Wow.
It kills the virus. You kind of know what are the things that kills the
Kill the
virus,
virus.
the elements. I'm not saying that medically speaking, I don't know what would be the equivalent of hand sanitizers or temperature. I don't know how they will incorporate that into a vaccine, but you still know what kills the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm sure medicine is something that even they don't actually wait for a virus to come before they create medicine and stuff like that. It's ongoing. So I'm surely you would have some sort of something to make it work.
Yeah.
Something to reduce the symptoms, something, because it's the worst. Do you know what it is with this thing? It's not even the real thing that kills is the breathing part. It's not like the flu-like symptoms. It's not
people with
it's the
lungs problem,
breathing.
they
It's
have
the
lungs
breathing.
problem.
Yeah, it's the
Lungs.
breathing part that obviously, because if you can't breathe, you're
Yeah,
dead. So,
finish.
but that's that part.
I think
I
it's
just think, yeah.
because like I saw online, they say that tablet chloroquine, that's something in a tablet that in Africa we take for malaria. They say that could be a potential treatment, but you just have to wait and see. You just have to pray.
With that, just
Yes.
to add to that, I think my mum called me and she said, "Oh, Tracy, there is this medicine in France that is exactly the same as chloroquine." And I remember when I used to go to
Yeah.
Ivory Coast, I used to take it, and it's basically malaria tablets. And basically, I think a doctor must have said something about, yeah, it really has a really positive impact on people with the virus, and it really reduces the symptoms, and people recover much quicker with it. And the US asked France to kind of like, okay, because it's a French medicine, okay, kind of, allow the liquidation of the thing, like let's get going, send it to us so that people that are ill can start recovering and stuff like that. And they were like, no, we need six weeks of, we need to carry on
weeks, you
research
know.
for the vaccine, we need to carry on.
Oh my
But
days.
to be honest, the vaccine is lovely, but if you can reduce people from dying, why would you not do it? That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. This whole thing about them not doing it, that's why I think so. Because it's like, if you're desperate, I'm not gonna lie, we're seeing doctors crying, nurses killing themselves, people begging the public to stay home. Like, they're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And you know
Because-
that everyone's overwhelmed. So it's like, why wouldn't you try to relieve the NHS or the health system in general? Let the people heal quickly so they can get out of the beds. Put the new people that need the beds. And then at least you know that, okay, this person, I know that they come here. It's going to be a thing where, okay, if I give you that medication, it's going to reduce from maybe 10 weeks, 12 weeks to maybe 6 weeks. So therefore, I have a potential for someone else to come after you. Do you know what I'm saying? But they're not thinking like that. They're just thinking, yeah, we need to find a cure.
Like,
How long? God knows how long a cure is going to come. And they keep saying, what, 2021? Hello? So if we're only, how many months? Okay, let's say, according to them, since December,
yeah. December.
January, February, March, it's 3 months, right? 3-4 months. 3 months.
3-4 months.
3 to 4 months, yeah? So if England has, well, almost 800 deaths in 3 months,
Yeah, because I saw
so
the
if we wait all the way
numbers,
to
like,
next year,
almost,
how many, we're all going to be dead then.
Damn. It's crazy though.
No, but
'Cause
if
I
we
was-
calculate, we might all be dead.
Yeah, because I saw my friend's Snapchat. They were taking a body out from his block. And
Oh,
he
that's
said
scary.
somebody died of the virus there. That's mad. That's like...
But you know, I
Yeah.
think I heard that basically the
Sad.
reason why people really die of it is because people go to the hospital too late.
Too late.
Yeah. So basically, because the virus goes in, like once it takes over, so for, you know, you might have mild symptoms
Yeah.
and you might think, oh, it's not that bad. Or maybe I'm just getting a cold, I'm just gonna, but at some point it just really kicks in and then you start to struggle to breathe. But sometimes by the time you make it to, you know, to
To the hospital.
the hospital, you're, and
Yeah, too late,
especially
too late.
because now the NHS is overwhelmed, a lot of people are being denied. Oh no,
Can't
you can't come
imagine,
in.
yeah. Because I feel like people be scared to even come near you. To even, I don't know, it's crazy. I feel like the worst is even, like, you see those videos where you see people they'll be licking stuff, like purposefully touching things. They'll say I have corona and they touch things.
That is so
That's
evil.
like, yeah, that's what, I don't understand, like,
That is so
how can you have heart, even if it's a prank, yeah? There's some things that are funny, but there's some things that are not
yeah,
funny.
because it's like,
It's like,
say for example, if it was like, if the coronavirus was done and then you do such prank, we can start laughing about it because it's
Yeah.
funny when it's gone, but when we're still in the situation, I don't think it's funny.
yeah, because I saw there was one on the train, the guy was on the train, and you know the real thing you hold.
Yeah,
I think he licked his hand or like, no, something like that, and then he was
and it was a
rubbing
joke.
No, I think it was real because someone recorded him on Sly, like Sly. It's like,
Why would you
that's
do
mad.
that? It's
People
so
are
evil.
man. People are, you see how many people have died around the world. We gotta take control. You guys stay
That's
safe.
why China is literally the best. Well, they're not the best. Taiwan is the best, but China, they have everyone. They
Yeah.
have that technology thing. You know the thing on their phone. It looks like a barcode. It looks like, you know, the BBM days. Yeah, like that. It has
Yeah,
like a
track
barcode
you.
like that, and then it basically shows like if someone is if you have the virus, if you don't have the virus, if you had the virus, so they know. It's like kind of like a chip, so they know everything
Oh.
about you. And then before you enter somewhere, you have to show your thing.
Yeah, just kind of. Oh, that's actually.
Yeah, and then they know whether you've had it, you have it, or
Yeah.
or you're fine.
At
And they
least
don't allow people that
I've had
have
Oh,
it,
sorry.
that
Oh,
have it to go
to come there.
anywhere. Yeah.
Because it makes sense. Because at least in that way, it will help reduce the spread. Like.
Yeah, because people are
Because-
being evil.
It was being so bad, like, because imagine, I don't know, we just have to stay prayerful, wash our hands, stay indoors, only go outside if you need to go outside to get food and stuff like that, you know, singing. So, she ran up.
All right, then we're done, guys.
We're done, guys.
Stay home,
Stay
stay
home.
safe, FaceTime your family, and take it seriously because people are
Take it
dying and it's
serious.
all ages at the moment. It's all
It's,
ages. It's not that, oh, don't think, oh yeah, I'm young.
I don't
It's
think it doesn't
all
happen to black people because black people catch it. too
Yeah,
as well,
yeah. There's a police officer that died and he was black. So
Of the virus.
yeah, so
Oh my God. You
people are
guys-
dying. People are sick and suffering, and I heard it leaves that mark, like
Yeah.
I don't know. You may not have
The
had any like
symptoms
breathing
come
problems, and then
all of a
now
sudden.
after it, you might have some sort of issues and stuff. But anyways, guys,
Stay safe, stay home,
and
stay
pray.
prayerful, you know what I mean? And wash your hands. You know? Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Be part of the family, you know what
We're
I'm
not
saying?
gang members. But, yeah. Go.
Peace out.
Peace out.